Hey guys, and welcome back to Let It Die. This is a very special occasion because I can't hear shit. Don't know what that's about. Apparently the game just decided music is not allowed. Yeah, so, can I fix this by just going in here or something? Tapping the radio, maybe? It's eerily quiet, and I don't like it. Anyways, today we are going to be just having a nice, calm time within the game. Basically, I need some resources, and I thought I'd bring you guys along on getting them, because we haven't done one of those in a while. We're just kind of showing you guys that, hey, we're still grinding. We're still out here trying to get the murderous rake. It's an objective I've had for a great deal of time. Every time we stream, I am trying to get this weapon. You guys lied to me. You guys lied to my goddamn face. Why? Why? You guys said the murderous rake was super attainable. 5 DOD red? Are you crazy? It's insane. Anyways, yeah, let's go try to get that. Luckily, it's not good, but it's not that bad. Coen is not that bad. One thing I do want to check though is what Coen is weak against. Coen doesn't look like he's weak to goddamn anything. I mean, I guess his weakness is his eyes, is what people are saying. Damn it. Okay. No one knows, apparently, but, yeah, things has been working fine. I just was hoping that there'd be like a special thing that I'd be like, that is your bane, I guess? Yeah, he's been dying fine. I was like, maybe we could be more efficient in this. 5 DOD, that is a bit. That is a good bit. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate very, 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 very much. Man, I cannot wait for the I'm not sure what it is. I don't know, man. I feel crazy. I feel like, what do you call it? Right around this time of year, I get real tired all the time, and I hate it because I'm like, I like being like, hey guys, this is what we're trying to do. Blah, blah, blah. But it combined with the heat, the allergies, and everything, I just feel offbeat. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like throughout the entire video, which is not what you guys deserve, but it's sometimes what you guys get. Togos. Oh no! Shit! Dumb idiot. I just remembered I forgot to pick up the staff that you guys left me. Apparently that one's like the best of the best. I already have one of them. But I could have taken it with me and we could have killed Coen with it. It'll be a little, well no, I feel like I want to make a video where it's like redemption video, where all the ones that I was like, maybe it's not that great. Well, of course, the thing with Let It Die is that everything is great if you just pump enough levels into it, apparently. Not everything, but a good bit of stuff. Okay, so that sounds horrible. It sounds like a bad time. Oh no. Rope-a-dope, that guy sucks as well. Don't be that guy, guys. Don't be him. Start it, goddammit. What are you doing? Yeah, DOD drops by Coen, by the way. All DOD metal. It is higher chance for them to drop it, but it's still not a for sure thing. Also, we're on this side of him now, so it's a bit finicky. But yeah. Bam. Ow. Ow. Did not plan for this entirely well. Shit. Shit! Ooh! Ooh! Coen, don't be a bitch. There we go. And we're rolling away. Boom! Fuck off, Coen! Bam! Ooh. We did it. We did it. And nothing. Nothing dropped. No. Make me upset and shit. Damn it. Yeah, let's say we have space. Unfortunately, we should eat this though, just so we're okay. Because we need to clearly farm him a lot, unfortunately. Oh, I haven't seen one of these in like ages. They used to be everywhere. An invincibility shroom. It's more or less useless, but you know, neat. Neat at best. We want to go down again, so not that way. Oh, by the way, when you guys were asking me, or when you guys were telling me that the katana may actually not be bad, that could have been real bad. The katana may actually, or the advanced katana, you know how there's like the one we are having right now in our inventory, and then the gold one we covered a couple parts ago. Well, you guys are saying that when you make it +4, it starts to get crazier, it starts to do significantly better, which I 100% agree with. I could not, that's like logic, right? But my confusion was with the katana that we use, purple one, that does like, I think it's like 1,000 damage, and then its counterpart doing almost 1,000 on top of that, and I didn't really see a difference. That was why I was like, what? This should be doing like significantly more than the first one. We swapped right to and from one another. But also, you guys are saying that the uppercut for this one is pretty ridiculous. The R1, the base attack, but didn't really look at that one, to be honest. It like you drag it on the floor, and it's also not fast. So for me, I'm like, I'd rather not. Also, maybe it's just me, but I still like my hockey stick. It's just like a fast wallop, and then you can roll out of there fast. It hits hard, and then you can just get out. It's kind of like the chopper, I think. We do have a gold chopper. We can see how Coen fares against a gold tier chopper. Right to his muscle meat. Ew, oh, gross. It sounded awful in every way. By the way, I'm kind of exclusively using two-handed weapons now. Just because of my two decals, my barbarian decals, because, yeah, it's what's happened, I guess. On a side note, this is how I know I'm tired, but on a side note, I'm probably gonna make a video about this, or maybe not, I don't know. But what I do know is that there's a brand new Fallout coming. It's called Fallout 76, I believe. And the things that are cool about it is it seems like, well, the cool thing about the vault is that it's one of the only vaults that is not a experiment vault. So in the Fallout universe, there's a bunch of vaults. Most of them, or just a lot of them, were meant to be like cruel experimentation on humans. Like one of them is with like isolation, so they put one guy in an entire vault with puppets, and they wanted to see what would happen to him after a while. Big shocker here, he went insane. He went batshit insane, and turned into like a crazy killer, and yeah. Anyways, but then there's these like, I'm not sure how many, but there's like a not a very good number of vaults that were supposed to be the thing that everyone wanted them to be, which was the survivaling of humanity and all that jazz. But there is some questionable things about this one, the new Fallout 76. Apparently, it's supposed to be a cooperative type of thing, which I'm fine with. I think it's fine as long as I don't have to play it cooperative. If it's not just a co-op thing, then I'll be fine. But if it's only a co-op, then that's going to be pretty aggravating. The thing that I'm worried about is they talked about it being kind of like, how do you say it? Like, I'm fine with survival, but I also want story, if that makes any sense. Like, I wouldn't mind a Fallout survival kind of thing, as long as it wasn't, like, done poorly, which I feel like a lot of survival mods even are done not that great in a lot of games. Like, I feel like people, I'll explain it when we have a minute. Alright, well, we're not doing that again. And we're rolling away. And we're rolling away. And rolling away. Oh, no! No! Bullshit! 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 Should have hit you, Coen. My armor. If Coen hits me once, I think I'll be pretty down for the count, so to speak. Yeah, we got DOD finally. We need so much more. We're definitely not going to get all of it in this video. I'll do that just some off camera, just so you guys still know the grind is real. But back to Fallout. And when it comes to survival games in general, I think they could do something really cool with survival in games. But they take away like the feeling of survival in a lot of video games, I think. Like when I think of a survival game that I would really love to play is I want to play a survival game that is that's one first person, and it handles the feeling of scarcity really well. So for instance, in Fallout, there's plenty of mods, and I think at this point Bethesda's actually implemented a thing in the game that is like a survival kind of thing, which is like, hey, you get hungry, you need to sleep, you need to drink. Personally, I don't like the sleep thing. That, like, I feel like it should have penalties, but it shouldn't, like, destroy your character. Like, that kind of realism is a bit too much, I think. But in those instances, in Fallout Survival or whatever it's called, you basically just are like, oh, this bar is almost depleted and it has like a water droplet near it. Okay, open inventory for 10 minutes and sit there just munching shit that you can eat and then get back to actually playing a video game. To me, it'd be really cool if you could like equip a water bottle. And that water bottle had like a number beside it, like 70%, 80%, and you physically had to hold it down, and your character would bring up the drink as you're holding it down, and you could basically see the water deplete, or maybe it's a bar or whatever slowly starts to deplete, and then you put away your drink. And that could be something like a Nuka-Cola or whatever. That could be food. But just to have that like visualization of your character actually eating would put you in that world and immerse you really well. And I think Bethesda's been really good about, especially with Skyrim and games like that, where you feel like you're lost in this world, this apocalypse. For Fallout's example, I guess. But the whole co-op thing, I want to know what it is, because I'm not a fan of forced co-op. I'm a fan of like Borderlands co-op, where you can absolutely play through the entire game by yourself, because it scales. But when you have more people in your group, it scales upwards, which is brilliant. I think that's great. But I don't know. I feel like we keep going into the direction of co-op, and it's funny because Bethesda's been that pioneer for single-player games, which I don't think that's gonna change. They did like a big marketing thing last year, 2017, like a couple months back, where they were talking about how they wanted to. It was like the Save Single-Player Games initiative. So I doubt that they're gonna break that, especially after they went so hard into it. So I definitely don't think it's going to be like a Skyrim Online or whatever it's called, Elder Scrolls Online. I definitely don't think it's going to be that. I think instead what it's going to be more like zombies, like Call of Duty Zombies, where you have a group of 4 people, or more so what I think, which is going to be like a Borderlands. I'm not sure if they're going to go as hard into it as like having skill trees. I don't think that's what they're going to take from it, but I think it's going to be a 4-player co-op or something close to that. Where you're going to go into an encounter and then try to survive. But even that doesn't sound great to me. The examples that apparently people were leaking stuff, they gave it an example of Rust and H1Z1, what is it? Not Arma, it's, I don't know, basically, it's kind of like H1Z1 except with zombie. I don't know, regardless, that to me sounds awful. That to me sounds painfully shitty. Like Rust to me, maybe it's just because it has some grit. Like Rust has a good bit of grit, and all that stuff, which is charming about it. But it's definitely not what I would want from a Bethesda game. So I'm when it comes to like when people are saying that that's the examples that it's kind of dipping into, that's when I get scared. I like that there's a Fallout game that is that kind of co-op. It's not like an online kind of thing, rather just a co-op experience where you can just go through the game. And it have like a nice funny story, as well as you building up your empire with your friends if they want to jump in. That to me sounds great. Like I think that works totally within the Fallout universe. Yeah, like if you just be like, hey dude, you want to come play Fallout with me, and then you both just build atop your Fallout empire. Because there's building in the game, of course, there's survival elements. That to me, 100% into it. I think that's great. I think it translates for sure. But the minute that you start bringing up like Rust and H1Z1 and stuff like that, is it DayZ? DayZ is the one I'm thinking of. But when you start bringing up examples like that, that's when I'm like, oh, come on. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Anything but that sounds great. Boom! I think that heavy hit would do a number on him. But yeah, let's just do that. Let's just keep ba ba ba. Now that I know he doesn't have any secret moves, which I've fought in Coen before, so I don't know what I was expecting. But yeah. But I don't know, man. This has weirdly turned into my Fallout video, where I was going to talk about what I think about it. Because to me, again, I think that's a pretty good sell. If they had like a story kind of game, and the premise was, hey dude, we have all these building mechanics in the game. I'm gonna go get food for us and just mess around the wasteland and do that kind of stuff, as well as maybe we have our like banner, and that banner we're gonna try to litter with the wasteland, right? Like try to make it everywhere. I think that's great, especially with the systems that they have in play with like the settlements and stuff like that. That totally seems accomplishable within Fallout 4, how they had those things. But again, when you say stuff like Rust, and when you say stuff like Arma, it makes me feel like I'm gonna take an axe and start hitting a tree, and I'm like, okay, no, please don't do that. Maybe it's just me, maybe that's something that you guys would want from your Fallout, but definitely not what I would. The one thing I've always wanted them to do within Fallout is to actually, to make you like really superhuman to a certain extent. Like we've always had like upgrade ability points and stuff like that, but I've always wanted to like see if we could transcend that a little bit. Like maybe we find out in Fallout 7, or in the new Fallout that's coming out, whatever it's called, 76, something like that, Fallout 76. If in that Fallout we find out that we have like a testing facility that puts experimental blood in our system because we are the first to exit into the vault, because that's what 76 is. It's like right after the bombs drop, we leave the vault to rebuild society and etc. So hopefully we do have some sort of like internal things with that. And the reason why I think that'd be really cool for like blood is it would finally explain why our character can be like the strongest character on the planet and like hit someone with a bat and they just atomize. But you could go a step further with that, and you could be like, okay, well now you have hardened skin, and stuff like that. Like that's something that New Vegas did really well. There was like this like back alley medical facility in New Vegas where you could actually buy augments, like cyber augments for your body, and you could actually make it so that you regenerated health, and they took it off of like Mirelurks that could like rapidly heal, and they just injected it into you, and now you can heal very slowly, but you can still have regen, which is never a thing in Fallout, unless you were like in the sun or you were playing off some sort of perk. But to me, I'm like, I can get into that. That seems cool to me. But again, the minute that they start saying stuff like Rust, and I don't think Rust is a bad game, or DayZ, don't think DayZ is a bad game. Well, but that starts terrifying me, because it's like, that to me is never the coupling that I would want from my Fallout. And I don't think that they're going to do that at all. I think that was probably like some sort of bullshit amongst the actual credible leaks that were happening about the game. Because again, it makes no sense for Bethesda to go on this like single player initiative to then going from completely multiplayer DayZ bullshit. It wouldn't do that. But what they would do is they say, you're still gonna get a story experience, you're still gonna have a ton of open world and like RPG mechanics that you love. Only thing is now you can invite a friend along and you can experience it together. That's the only thing that's changed. And that to me, I'm like, okay, especially considering as all Fallouts and as all Skyrims and etc., they always have mod support, which would make me very curious to see. That'd be pretty awesome. Like you and your buddy both download the same mod, and then you go do it, and that could be like a custom map. Because the fucking modding community for Bethesda is insane. Because they're basically the people that are only one funding it. Well, funding, it's a strong word. Trying to figure out ways to make it monetarily valuable, but then again it is, because it sells your game's copies. Weird, bit messy over at the modding scene, but I love mods to tears in games. How do you guys feel about it? Because I'm kind of indecisive a little bit. A part of me is like, ooh, Fallout. The other part is like, I really hope we don't get a DayZ thing, and I don't think we will. Again, I think I heard that, now I can't get it out of my head, you know, like, please, please no. Also, I don't know, like, because the way they made it sound is it's an open, oh my god, oh you suck. You have everything that could rip my head off. Please, please, please. Ooh, that's a ranged weapon that can, like, I think instant kill me. It's pretty tough, that weapon. My eye's twitching right now, guys. Don't judge me. Wait for him to crack his head on something. And one more. We don't have one more. Never mind. Back to this. That did a lot. Oh, I dodged. Got him. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I was about to be like, oh, you cruel bitch. You did not give it to me. I don't remember what I was saying. It's gone. Man, I'm getting bad with that. Then again, I'm going to blame it on my cold and all those other things. They're definitely... Oh right, but the statement that I heard that was the most credible was that it was going to be an online. Please don't die, don't kill me, don't kill me. Anyways, it was going to be an online rogue RPG. It was going to be an online RPG, which to me It doesn't really hint at story stuff, but I think it's got to be in there just because of just the nature of Bethesda and their initiative and all that stuff about making single-player games or about saving single-player games. But to me, I wonder what that looks like. Because the way, I think the most educated, smart guess that isn't like the best for a Fallout game, but just is like probably everything that we've seen that matches up, it kind of seems like it's going to be kind of like a Vermintide kind of game. If you guys don't know what Vermintide is, Hammer of War, whatever it's called, Warhammer, Vermintide is what it's called. But basically you have your hub space, your vault in this instance, and then you can leave your vault and go into like special places, and you have to complete an objective. Maybe that's clearing out ghouls in a certain area with your stuff, and then via you just completing all that stuff, you can build your vault, or you have special things you bring back with you, and maybe every time you do that, the idea is that you're reclaiming the wasteland, or you're freeing slavers, or you're freeing the slaves of slavers. From slavers. Point being, is that seems like the most accurate thing, but I feel like with the nature of everything around it, like again, with there having to be story in there, it doesn't look like it's a step up graphically or mechanically from Fallout 4, but it does. So with that being said, that's why I still think it's gonna be that mentality of it's just a co-op experience where you're trying to conquer back the wasteland with you and your friend. And I think that works really well, especially if you add a survival mechanic in there, because your buddy could be like, dude, I'm starving, I didn't collect enough food, and you give him some food. You could be like, okay, we need to set up like a base here, I'm gonna make houses, you focus on resource shit. And then your buddy's like, got it, I'm gonna go put some water stuff in the water, or plant some shit, you go ahead and build a house, and keep aside the elements and stuff like that. That to me makes sense. Very worried though about the power or the force of survival, because to me I feel like you have to ride a very careful line before survival just becomes too much, I guess. Like exactly in Fallout's case, I love the idea that like, hey, you need to collect water, and that's kind of just a nice passive thing I can do in the background. If I have water on me, I'm good. Food, sure, that's fine too. Sleep, no more autosave, stuff like that to me is where it quickly becomes blech. Also, one of the things that they added in Fallout that I hated, it was even in New Vegas, and I love New Vegas, bullets and random trash had massive weight implication, so you basically couldn't hold a lot of bullets, and to me that's like the primary example for why survival can be too much, and the exact meter for myself that it becomes ridiculous, because at that point all that you're doing by adding that isn't adding like a skill tactic to the game and me having to figure out a way around it. All you're doing is me having to spend an extra like 10 minutes in my Pip-Boy trying to figure out what I don't need. And that to me is the most not fun thing ever. You know, it's like the same reason why in every Fallout game, one of the first things I do is I find out how to get like as much caps as I possibly can. That way I don't have to sit around and measure out the value of these two guns and what I can sell, because I'll do that shit. I'll torture myself like that. But I don't want to do that. I just want to experience Fallout, go through the paces, etc. I'm fine with weapons having a durability. If that gives you any context about what I'm at, where I'm at, again, that's something where I'm like, hey, my weapon's about to break. That's the same weapon. Boom, bam, done. I can move on. It's not me being like, do I carry this bullet or this bullet? Well, I have this gun, and it just becomes a fucking well of just nonsense in my brain. So, yeah, with some farming and Let It Die, just want to talk to you about Fallout, the whole implications of Fallout, hype for it. Yeah, I don't know. Mean editing, thumbnail. I don't know. We're still, well, we need 2 more. We've knocked out some today, so that next time I can have hopefully a good amount. And yeah, anyways guys, I just want to make this quick video, just trying to do Let It Die stuff, like checking off some stuff that I need to get done in Let It Die, and apparently it turned into us talking about Fallout 4 or 76. Let me know if you guys are excited. I'm excited for anything Bethesda. I know it's kind of, you know, people always tell me personally, like, you shouldn't get excited for like DLC or games or anything like that because you haven't seen gameplay. I'm just kind of an excited person. I like to get hyped for things, and I like to see the coolness in them, I suppose. I'm fully aware of like the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between being excited and then being ignorant or blind or something like that, and I feel like I always am never erring on like blissful ignorance, even though I see gameplay and I'm like, it's still gonna be great despite nothing works. No, I don't do that. So anyways, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do with it. Again, very worried about the way they handle certain things, but still massively excited. We'll see more at E3, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, subscribe button above me, 2 videos to my right. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Stop clapping. Jesus Christ.